What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm gonna go over my exact bulking diet meal by meal and show you exactly how I'm eating now that my goal is shifted from burning fat to building good quality muscle. You gotta look at your body in terms of a house. If you wanna build a new addition onto that house, a new porch or whatever, you have to have the raw materials to do that. In our instance, we're trying to build up our body, so we need our raw materials, which in this instance is going to be food, in order to accomplish that. So you guys might be amazed at just how much food I'm eating in a day right now, but if you stick along for the ride, you might learn a thing or two and walk away with a new diet that you can follow. So if you guys are ready to get this epic meal plan video underway, then as always, I'm here to cook for you. Let's do it! So starting off with meal one of the biggest differences now that I'm bulking as opposed to when I was cutting was that now my first meal has quite a bit of carbohydrates in it, but we still have some of the staples that I use year round for breakfast. So starting off, we're gonna do 3 large eggs. We're gonna do the whole egg. We're not separating out the yolks. We want that healthy fat in there, so we're gonna get about 15 grams of healthy fat and 20 grams of protein from that alone. And then I'm a big fan of these egg white containers from a pure protein perspective. Real clean, easily broken down by the body protein source here with all the essential amino acids you need to build muscle. So I'm gonna use half a container of this, which equates to about 25 grams of protein. So right there we have 45 grams of protein off the start. I'm also gonna throw in a little bit of spinach, about 28 to 56 grams. That's some micronutrients in while we fry all this stuff up. And then for carbohydrates, now in the past I used things like oatmeal and stuff like that to really get those complex sources in, but I've shifted my mindset a little bit and now I use things like whole grain cereals such as plain Cheerios, only 1 gram of sugar per serving, 20 grams of carbs per serving, minimal fat at 2 grams and 3 grams of carbs. One of the primary ingredients in this is just whole grain oats that they've toasted and pre-cooked. So some people will say that this isn't your best option. I personally find it really hard to choke down oatmeal and stuff day by day, so little things like this go a long way. So we'll be using Cheerios for some carbs, a cup of unsweetened almond milk to allow us to get that milk-like flavor without all the calories you'd find in regular milk, and I'm also gonna add a scoop of protein in there as well to add some good flavor and also ramp that protein content up. So let's get cooking. Now we got our spinach completely broken down in there. When it's frozen, you gotta give it a little bit of time to thaw out, but it'll ultimately turn into this. So we can buy it frozen, that way we're not wasting money and seeing fresh spinach go bad. We got our eggs seasoned as well, eggs and egg whites mixed in here. Now all I'm gonna do is dump them right in here. Now that the eggs are done, all we gotta do is make our cereal. So I'm gonna set these off to the side, and what I'm gonna do, I have a food scale right down here. I'm gonna take my Cheerios and measure out 3 servings, which is gonna be about 84 grams. And then what I like to do, as far as just putting a cup of milk in there and then my scoop of protein and mixing it up, what actually is much easier is putting your almond milk in a shaker cup, adding your protein to it, shaking it up, and then dumping it over the cereal. So let's get this going. And this is meal 1, guys. We got our eggs here and our protein cereal, but I'm gonna tell you guys something. This protein cereal is nothing to laugh at. If you use the right protein, this stuff is incredible. For the record, I am using the new chocolate peanut butter pie, Pure Bolic's whey protein flavor. Really good stuff, guys. If you haven't tried this out yet, check it out. Link in description, all that good stuff. Save yourself a little bit of money. RJF10. Anyways, though, this is a great way to start the day. Gets my calories up. I think this is about 700 calories. I'll put the exact macros right here in the video. That way you can follow along and see exactly how many macros I'm eating in each meal. But really good way to start the day. Get some carbohydrates in here, healthy fats, greens in the spinach, micronutrients, all that good stuff. And honestly, I do not mind eating this meal. If you use the right seasonings for your eggs, I think they taste incredible. So I'm gonna go and eat this and we'll be right back for meal number 2. Okay guys, we just got finished eating meal number 1. Now we're gonna move on to prepping meal 2 and meal 4. If you've followed me for long enough, you know that I don't like to have to prep out every meal as I go. I like at least 2 of my meals in the day to be the same thing. So I like them to be composed of a primary protein source, such as chicken, beef, tuna, whatever, just getting a real animal source of protein in there, as well as some natural carbohydrates in the form of like rice or potatoes, and then my veggies. So what we're working with here, now that I am bulking, I get to have more fat, which means I can add fattier cuts of meat as long as they're programmed into my plan. So what I'm gonna do is a full pound of 90-10 lean ground beef. I find that this mixed with rice is incredible, and I really enjoy eating it every single day. And as you can see here, we're not eating all of this rice today, but I just pulled this out of the rice cooker. This is so cheap to do. When you're bulking, you need carbohydrates. And when you buy rice in bulk, throw them in a rice cooker, pull them out. This entire tub will last me for at least 4 to 5 days. And it's just nice having it there. I don't have to prep it. I can go in, scoop it out, and put it in. So just want to show you guys that. And then for veggies, this is hot. I just pulled it out of the microwave. I'm doing a steam bag of Brussels sprouts. We have about 340 grams of Brussels sprouts. You don't need that much, but I'm bulking, so I figure I'll just throw the whole bag in with these meals. So that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go get these prepped out. So let's get started. Here we go, guys. In no time at all, we got 2 meals prepped. So obviously I'm gonna go ahead, throw a lid on one and save it for later. One I'm gonna go ahead and eat right now. Like I said, we have 8 ounces of lean ground beef. We have 250 grams of cooked white rice, and then we have half a bag of Brussels sprouts. I forget exactly, I think it was 185 grams of Brussels sprouts in each meal. So we're definitely getting our fiber in, definitely getting in those micronutrients from the veggies. And that's one thing I hear a lot of people talk about is they don't like vegetables. Before we started this, you might not believe me, but up until college, besides potatoes, I had not had a single vegetable up to that point. I really had to teach myself to like these things. Before, I would not have eaten anything. I think the extent of my micronutrient intake was like salsa when I was eating chips and salsa at like a restaurant. But now I eat them. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. I'm telling you. Find yourself some microwave steam bags, make it easy, add them in your plan, and I'm telling you, it'll make you feel 100 times better. You'll sleep better, overall health will be better, you'll be good to go. So we're gonna go ahead, do one of these right now. Like I said, I'll put the macros right here. And really, guys, this is a cinch. If you prep this stuff right and you do it quick and easy, especially lean ground beef, you just preheat your skillet, throw it in there, fry it up. This does not take no time at all. So there's no reason why, if I can do it, that you can't either. So let's go ahead and get started with the next meal, meal number 3. So moving into meal 3, for me, meal 3 changes quite a bit. Sometimes meal 3 can be a protein bar, sometimes meal 3 can simply be a shake, or whatever is convenient. Sometimes I'm out and about and I just grab something somewhere that's gonna get some calories in me, as long as the macros are all right. But since we're home and we have the luxury of cooking something, we're gonna go ahead and do some maple, lower sugar, instant oatmeal here. And we're also gonna do a scoop of protein powder. Once again, the chocolate peanut butter pie whey protein from Carbohydrates. I get a lot of requests from people asking me for meals that are easy when you're on the road if you don't necessarily have a microwave. Well, when you buy instant oatmeal packets, you literally can just add hot water, mix it up, and they're good to go. So luckily we have this microwave, so you have the luxury of actually cooking it, but we're gonna go ahead and whip this up. And I'm telling you guys, if you don't like regular oatmeal, these lower sugar instant maple and brown sugar packets are to die for. Added some protein and delicious. So let's go ahead and get this whipped up. One of my favorite ways to eat oatmeal. A lot of people drink their protein shakes and eat their oatmeal plain. I like to mix the two. Even without these lower sugar, brown sugar packets, putting protein in regular oatmeal makes it way better. You add in that little bit of brown sugar from the instant packets, makes a great flavor. So this is something that's incredible. It's one thing you can also make too. Throw in a Tupperware container, put it in the fridge, eat it cold. This has a lot of versatility. So I know there has been days when I didn't have any food prepped. I literally made up like 5 batches of protein oatmeal and just took them with me in meal prep containers, ate them cold out of my car. Might not sound like the best option in the world, but hey, it's an option, right? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to stay on track. So this is meal number 3. I will go ahead and put the macros right here. And we're gonna move into meal number 4, which some of you might already have a rough idea of what it's gonna be. But for the sake of the video and making it complete, we're gonna go ahead and cover it again. So like I said, I'm gonna eat this and I'll see you at the next meal. And here we go. It is time for meal 4. As you can see, we're not in the kitchen, and that's because we already prepped one of these out. So no need to cook anything. That is one of the benefits of meal prepping. And you might be wondering what I'm drinking right now. This is a sugar-free Red Bull, and I work with a lot of clients, and a question I get all the time is, am I allowed to drink 0-calorie energy drinks? Am I allowed to have like Powerade Zeros and Diet Pops? And what I always say, and what I've always practiced, is that I do drink them. I have Diet Pop almost every night. Diet root beer is one of my addictions when I'm dieting. And then 0-calorie Red Bulls, sugar-free ones, are my go-to when I need energy. So my recommendation is drink up. As far as I'm concerned, I've never noticed it affect me negatively. And then one other thing I wanted to cover. So this is, I'm gonna put the macros for this right here. Same as meal number 2. That's the benefit of prepping out in advance. One more thing I figured, since we didn't have just a dead meal, I could still cover some stuff. This is my gallon of water for the day. I am officially about halfway through with it. And at this point in time, I'm still drinking a gallon of water. Making sure you're hydrated and drinking enough is crucial, especially when you want your body to process all the food you're eating adequately. So make sure you're getting your gallon in. I know some people that want to get a gallon in when they're cutting, and then when it comes time to build muscle, they kind of slack off on it, but it's still just as essential when you're trying to build muscle. So that is meal number 4, guys. Hopefully you're enjoying the video so far. If you were getting any type of value out of this video, I beg of you, I don't beg, I ask of you to please hit that thumbs up button, because that helps me out more than you know and allows more people to see this video. So thank you guys for that. I always appreciate that support. And now let's go ahead and move on to the final meal in this program. So if you've made it this far to the video, you are probably wondering how there could possibly be more food in this program. But I'm telling you guys, when you're having clean sources of food, when I say clean sources of food, I mean ones that don't have a lot of ingredients and aren't holding a lot of extra calories, mainly from fat. A lot of foods you eat are gonna have a lot of saturated fat, a lot of oils added to them. A lot of these foods you're doing are clean, quote unquote, which are just minimal ingredients. Even this Kick cereal that I'm about to have, you look at it, 1 gram of fat per serving, 25 grams of carbs, and 2 grams of protein with only 3 grams of sugar per serving. So something like this is what I consider a clean food. I get that in the comments a lot. So that's what I mean. I just want to clarify a little bit. But basically here, as of right now, protein is around 200 or so grams right now. Our carbohydrates are around 270 and our fat is around 78. So what I really primarily want to do, I'm trying to keep my fat around 80 grams, trying to keep my protein around 225-ish grams, and I want my carbs to shoot up there. I want my carbs to be well over 300. So we got to get carbs in while not hurting any of the other macronutrients right now. So basically it's going to be a simple meal. Usually how I end my days, going to be a pretty decent sized bowl of cereal. So I'm going to do 2 servings of Kicks. That's going to give us about 50 grams of carbs. And then once again, 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk to round this out. So let's go ahead and make this, and then we'll go over all the numbers for this meal plan, all the foods involved, and all that good stuff. So you don't want to miss that. Anyways, let's do it. This is my final meal. I will go ahead and put the macros right here. Like I said, when you are bulking, it is super essential that you not only get in a lot of food, but making sure those foods are coming from quality sources, make sure your macros line up. The worst thing you want to do is go on a crazy binge, start eating pizza and start just eating everything in sight. That is how you pack on the weight without really putting on too much muscle mass. You can, yes, in theory, still build muscle that way, but you're gonna put a lot of unwanted fat on, and when it comes time to finally cut that down, your job is gonna be way harder. So I suggest doing kind of what I did. You know, you can have some things you can enjoy, such as cereal, such as the oatmeal, protein powders, things like that. Being creative, but while still sticking to your goals and eating simple foods. So I'm gonna go ahead, finish this, then we're gonna go over all the macros and everything in this program, and I will see you guys off. And congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. So let's go ahead and cover all the calories and macros in this entire program. So starting off with calories, there was 3,050 calories in everything you just seen me eat. Now I know some of you are gonna think that that is quite a bit of food, and yes, that's because it is. Every day, at the end of the day, when I'm bulking, I go to bed completely full, which is the opposite of when I'm cutting, where I go to bed sometimes starving, but most of the time though, I just know I have an empty stomach. I kind of can't wait to get up the next day and be able to start eating again. That is not the case with bulking. Some mornings I gotta wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta start eating again, but it is part of the process, guys. I find bulking even harder than cutting, personally. There's 2 different types of bulking. You got your dirty bulking and your clean bulking. Doing a true clean bulk where you really focus, macro track, and keep everything in line can be difficult, but I'm telling you, you gotta do what you gotta do if your ultimate goal is to make gains and actually put on good quality muscle. I'll go ahead right now in the video and put a before picture of me right here. You can see that, right? That was before I ever got into dieting. And now we'll put in an after pic. Keep in mind, this is me at about 170 pounds shredded, so I look a lot bigger in this photo, but this is me after. 2 completely different people. And it all started when I really started tracking my macros, doing controlled bulks, cutting, so on and so forth. So now that you guys know the calories, let's break down the macros. And this is what tells the true story, because this type of diet, as opposed to eating 3,000 calories of McDonald's or pizza, they're gonna do 2 completely different things to your body, and it's all because of macronutrient composition. So we look here, my fat is at 80 grams. That is about perfect, and that's right where I wanna be. I don't recommend taking your fat up much higher than 100 grams unless you have a lot of weight you wanna gain. If you're 5'10" and you weigh 145 pounds and you're a male, by all means, you can ramp that fat up because you really do need to put on that weight. But if you're someone like me that has a hard time gaining good clean weight, I think I have about average genetics for that, I gotta keep that in line, because any of those extra calories are gonna get stored as fat immediately when you are in a surplus. You wanna maximize those with carbohydrates, readily available energy for repair repair and recovery for your muscles. That way you're putting your best foot forward. So protein count is about 234 grams. I usually recommend you keep your protein at about 1.2 to 1.5 times your body weight in grams. So if I take my weight right now, about 182, times that by 1.3, 1.4, we get a little closer to this number. For me, that is optimal. And then for the final number, carbohydrates, we're at 339 grams, which is pretty high, but you can also push that up much higher. Once I get 3 to 4, 5 more weeks into this program, I'm gonna slowly ramp that up. We'll probably get closer to 450, maybe even 500 grams of carbohydrates a day, which, like I said, seems like a lot, but it is a necessity if you are trying to build a good, hard body and put on good muscle. So in closing, that is my meal plan. Hopefully you guys, like I said, got some value out of this. I'll go ahead and put down the description box below. We'll have every meal, meal by meal, the full macros, calories, everything like that. So if you want to try this out for yourself, then by all means, go right ahead. And if you end up trying it out, comment below. Let me know how hard it was to get the food all down in a day, how hard it was to eat this much. If you're currently bulking, if you do something similar, I love reading the comments and love hearing from you guys. So comment below. And I think we're gonna call this a video. And real quick, before we go, RG Fit Apparel restock. We got one of the new shirts on right here. This is the barbell tee in the gray, the red, and the black. I absolutely love this shirt. This might be my favorite shirt I've ever released. So even if you hate Ohio, get yourself one of these. RJFitApparel.com, I'm telling you. Comfortable fit, custom printed tags. If you can see that, we literally got everything, guys. I spare no expense with quality, and we ship everything out usually next business day. $5 flat rate shipping anywhere in the US. So anyways, pardon my little sales plug there. I'm just so excited about these new things, and I want you guys to have them. Tag me in your Instagram pictures and all that good stuff. So we are out of here. Comment below with video suggestions too. I feel like I've asked you guys to comment below like 100 times now. But anyways, there's something for you to comment below about. So we need more video suggestion ideas. If you want to see certain meal preps, you want to see certain meal plans, you want me to do a meal plan based on something, I don't know. Whatever you want to see, comment below, because we need video ideas. So end of rant, done. We're out of here. Thank you guys very much. And as always, don't forget to smile, remain positive, and pay someone a compliment, because you never know whose day you could be making better with that. We're out of here. This has been a Remington James production, and I will see you fine ladies and gentlemen at the next video. See you guys.